Hello everyone, this is lesson number 1, food components of 7th class science subject. So what are the food components? See here you can see a variety of food items. What are the components present in which variety of food? So there are 5 varieties of components. Actually, what are components? Why we are calling components of food? What are present in the food? Why we required? So, in food items, we have carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. So, let me first tell you what are carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are a type of macronutrients. What are nutrients? All these together which are required for the bodybuilding and the growth of the body and which give us energy and a health. All these components which are present, and if we take all these components in our balanced diet in our daily life in a balanced way, so these all things keep us healthy, and these all should be taken in a daily need, but uh, in a particular amount. Carbohydrates, how much we needed? We can't take these vitamins and minerals are required in a trace elements. Fat should be taken adequately. Carbohydrates and proteins should be taken in a certain in a plenty. You can say in a plenty amount. Carbohydrates gives the energy to the body to do work, and proteins helps in bodybuilding and maintaining the body structure, and it also helps in proper functioning of the body organs. So what are carbohydrates? These are macronutrients. Macronutrients means these are required in excess amount, and these are micronutrients which are required in trace amount. These are macronutrients found in many food and beverages. Many foods mean rice, cereals, wheat, and beverages also in baking items, and also in your packed food also we can find carbohydrates. Most carbohydrates occur naturally in plant-based food such as grains. Food manufacturing also add carbohydrates to processed food in the form of starch or added sugars. See, if we drink any drink from outside, we get an instant energy. So they used in the form of added sugars and starch. It gives a instant energy. So manufacturers used carbohydrates in the form of starch and added sugars. Okay, where do we get, how do we get carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are formed by whom? They are found by plants. They are formed by plants by using what? Carbon dioxide and water by the process called photosynthesis. Actually, technically they are the hydrates of carbon, and structurally they are of two types, that are aldoses and ketoses. And in biochemistry, if you go for further classes, you will use a term saccharides for carbohydrates, which are a combination or a group of sugar, starch, and cellulose. Now let's see what are proteins. Proteins are large biomolecules. We are calling these proteins as biomolecules because these proteins are very much essential for the life, for the formation of all the organelles or organs, and all the muscles, hairs, everything which are present in the human body or animal body or microorganisms. They need a protein for its formation. So we call it as biomolecules or macromolecules, consisting of one or more long chains of amino acid residues. Amino acids are nothing but the nitrogenous compounds. We call it as amino acids, and these are the amino acid residues which are joined by peptide bonds. So they form a chain and they join together with the peptide bonds. Contains elements. So these proteins, what are the elements contains in these proteins? They are carbon, hydrogen, oxygen and sulfur. And occasionally other elements also present which are phosphorus and iron. And many essential biological components such as enzymes, hormones and antibodies also are the form of proteins. Now let's see fats. Fats are also called as lipids. Okay. They are stored as a oily liquid under the skin in the abdomen in the thin walled cells. Fats forms the body's main energy store and are converted into fuel as required. So they are present in the thin walled layer below the skin by the adipose in the adipose tissue, and they are converted into energy or a fuel when we require the energy or when we do a physical work. It provides the energy to the body. Now let's see minerals. Minerals is a chemical element. See, for carbohydrates we use the macronutrients or macromolecules, and for these biomolecules, and for fats it's a naturally occurring and fats are also known as lipids. They are water solubles and non-water ether solubles also there. I will just tell you. Fats, lipids, in these also we have many types for fats also, which are water soluble and some are alcohol soluble. Okay, these also you should remember. And let's say minerals. Minerals are chemical elements. So these are chemical elements and are required in trace amount, and these are very much essential for nutrients by organisms. See, these minerals play a very vital role, though they are required in a very small amount to the body, but they have a very wide variety of vital role which plays a major role in all the function of these things. They act as a catalyst. Like if you want to just make a food, so what we need a gas stove. We have a gas stove and all the ingredients required to make a food, all the ingredients we have, everything we have, but we don't have a matchbox. Then what we will do? How we can cook? We can't cook. So that though it is a small thing, but it plays a major role. It acts like as a catalyst, okay, for all the things to go further as an essential nutrients by organisms to perform functions necessary for life. However, the four major structural elements in body by weight which are present in abundant in the human body or any organisms are oxygen, hydrogen, carbon and nitrogen. Beside all these, though they are in abundant, but usually not included in minerals, though they are also called as minerals, but they are not included in minerals. Okay, appropriate intake level of each dietary minerals must be sustained to maintain physical health. So these are what? Inorganic nutrients. These are we call it because they are not organic, so they don't possess life. Minerals are present mainly in soils, rocks, in the form of rocks, and also plant also uses minerals in, and we have minerals like iron in spinach and calcium in milk. In that way we can get the minerals. So what are the minerals which we require for our body? They are sodium, potassium, chloride, calcium, phosphorus, sulfate, magnesium, iron, copper, zinc, manganese, iodine, selenium, molybdenum. and also a copper, and it is required for human health, but it is supplied by vitamin B12. This is the one element which is supplied by vitamin B12. Now let's see what are vitamins. Vitamins are organic. So these are inorganic, but vitamins are organic components in food that are needed in very small amount for growth and for maintaining good health. The vitamins are, so there are different types of vitamins. They are vitamin D, E, A, K. Once again I will repeat. D, E, A, K. These are fat soluble vitamins, and other vitamins are folate, vitamin B12, biotin, vitamin B6, niacin, thiamine, riboflavin, pantothenic acid, and vitamin C are water soluble vitamins. Hope you all got it. Now let's see these are what are the essential components of food. So okay, we know what are carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals and vitamins. So how can we test, how can we know does this food item contains starch, protein or fats? So there are certain small test by which we can perform and we can conclude that yes, starch is present, that is carbohydrate is present, or protein is present in this, or fat is present in this. So for carbohydrates or starch, we use the test for starch. In this we use what are the you can say apparatus and or chemicals used for performing this test is, that is iodine solution and a potato and a plate you need. Okay, what you will do, you just cut a potato, just crust it, or just you can cut the potato into two equal halves, or a small amount of potato you can take and just drop a few drops of iodine solution onto it, and it will change its color from yellow brown. It becomes what color? Yellow brown. The substance turns, so okay, the iodine solution is in yellow brown color, and after dropping into the potato, if it turns into a dark blue or a black, it contains starch. Try with ripened banana and curry banana. So how we can conclude that it contains a starch? By the changing of the color from which color? Yellow brown to dark blue or black color. So for the test of fats, what are the things we required? We only required a piece of paper, and you can take a groundnuts. You can just crush all the 2 to 3 seeds of groundnut with a paper. Just you can use a small stone and just you can hit on it, and you can see the translucent paper, that is the paper turns into a translucent. So by this method we can conclude that yes, fat is present in this, that is the oil is present in groundnut. And one more thing is, if you are eating any fried food, if you don't want to conduct a test, if you are eating any fried food like pakodi or chips, we just take those food item into a paper, and after just press with your hand and just see that paper turns into a translucent. Okay, and test for proteins. For protein test, what are the chemicals we required? We required 2% of copper sulfate solution and 10% sodium hydroxide solution. To make 2% copper solution, what we need? We needed 2 grams of copper sulfate in 100 ml of water. Take 100 ml of water and to that add only 2 grams of copper sulfate. To prepare a sodium hydroxide solution, that is 10%, what you do? Take 100 ml of water and add 10 grams of sodium hydroxide to into the 100 ml of water. This gives you the 2 solution. So 1 gram of sodium hydroxide equals to 6 pellets of sodium hydroxide. So 1 gram of sodium hydroxide is equal to how much? 6 pellets of sodium hydroxide. Now what you will do for the test of what we are testing? For testing proteins, whether proteins are present or not. If a substance you wish to test is a solid, grind it into a powder or paste. See, we can't test all the like if you are testing on cereals or pulses, you just can't drop all the solutions into it and can test it. First what you have to, because it has to take a reaction with the small powdered elements, because they are very minute and they should combine with the components like or elements with the food. In food we have proteins. Proteins consists of elements, and those elements should combine with the chemical solution, which gives the result. So what we will do, first we will powder the cereals or pulses, and then we add 10 drops of the solution of this copper sulfate and 10 drops of the sodium hydroxide solution to our powdered cereals or pulses, and then we can see the change of the color, that is violet or purple, which confirms presence of proteins. So how we are confirming? By the changing of the color of the powdered, which we have powdered cereals and or pulses. The above test shows the presence of components of food which are usually present in larger amount as compared to others. All type of food that we eat contain all the above mentioned food components. The quantity of each component varies from type to type. In rice we have more amount of what? Carbohydrates, whereas in oil fats are present in more quantity. Okay, in oil we have more quantity of fat, but we don't have carbohydrates, we have in a less amount. But in rice we have all more amount of carbohydrates but no fats. Testing of food items. How you can test how much proteins are present, how much starch is present, how much fat is present in all these food items, that is rice, potato, milk, curd and egg. By performing the above experiments, you can say whether it is present or not. So in rice, starch is present, yes, present. Proteins are present, but only in a few amount, but in a very less quantity. Fat present, no, it's not present, absent. Likewise, this also, potato, starch present, yes. Protein present, yes. Fat present, no. Milk, protein, starch is present, proteins is present, and fat also present, as well as curd also. But in egg, we don't have carbohydrates and fats, we have proteins. Here I have written which food show the presence of starch, potato. Nutrients are present in milk, that is calcium, phosphorus, potassium, zinc, vitamins, carbon, phosphorus and iron. Components of food would you identify in potatoes, that is carbohydrates. More fat, that we can write oil or ghee. Contains more proteins, milk and egg. Here only I have written egg, you can write milk also. Roughages. Roughages are the dietary fibers. So another main component of the food is the roughages, which is also required in a less amount, and it is present in green leafy vegetables and some fruits, and these helps in the it prevents constipation, and it is used and it is helpful. Actually, it is helpful in preventing constipation. Okay, in the bowel movement, it just easy the bowel movement. Water. So in all the items, whether it is a vegetable or a fruit, everything we find water. It consists of water. So water is a very important, another major source for the health of a human body is the water. So all the fruits and vegetables consist of water. Whether it consists of water or not, you can just squeeze it and you can see whether water is present in it or not. So this is the, and the water should be taken in a insufficient amount in a daily life. No, not less, not more, but water should be water should be taken in like 6 to 7 or 7 to 8 glass daily per day, and it keeps the body hydrated. Okay, water balanced diet. You can prepare a chart with the help of the components present in a food. And do you had today carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, fats, everything you had today or not? By seeing that, you can just prepare this chart. So there are other dry fruits also, which are very important to keep us healthy, and they provide so much of minerals, vitamins, and so many other nutrients to the body, which helps in bodybuilding and maintaining hormonal balance and all the enzymatic activity inside the body. So these are the things. And history of food and nutrients. So he is the founder of modern science of nutrient. He was a Frenchman named Lavoisier from 1743 to 1793, and in 1952 James Lind discovers scurvy. Scurvy is a disease which can be cured by eating fresh food and vegetables. See, there are certain foods, if we take them in inadequate amount, so we suffered from diseases. Scurvy is the disease which is caused with the deficiency of the vitamin C. So there are certain diseases which are developed in the human body if we don't take a certain amount of, if we don't have in our body, if we don't have a sufficient amount of vitamins or minerals or proteins, we suffer from different types of diseases. So he concluded that all the food, all the components required for the body should be taken in our daily life, and which contains carbohydrates, fibers, balanced diet, proteins, fats, constipation, vitamins, and here why they have written constipation, I don't know. Here should be roughages. Okay, what is constipation? You have to just write it down. Vitamins and minerals. Okay, so this is the, and these are the blanks. Fill in the blanks. If our food is not balanced with proper nutrient, we may suffer with diseases. Fiber in our diet prevents constipation. Okay. Our daily diet should include plenty of fruits and vegetables and carbohydrates, and that comes under the cereals and rice or pulses. You also can write. Oil and fats give us energy. Fiber what it is used for? Bowel movement. That is, fibers is present in the roughages. They are called as the roughages, which are present in the some fruits and vegetables. Proteins helps in body building. Carbohydrates gives energy, and these are the